Understanding is the perfect result of every good fight, because you cannot always win. Sorry about that. But hopefully you can understand. And out of understanding comes respect. And out of respect comes trust. And out of trust, well, let's talk about trust. I've done this with 431 couples. 8 out of 10 said the word trust before every other building block. You heard all the words that could be said, right? You've got a long list, and there's an even longer list of words that could be said. But 8 out of 10 times, the word trust is the first word mentioned. I just met with a couple of weeks ago down south. I'll be marrying them in the fall. We sat down together, we got acquainted, and I said to them, okay, what are the building blocks of a strong marriage? Bang, first word out of their mouth is trust. I'm to the point now where I start writing trust before they say it, because it's so obviously important to people. Why is trust so important? Well, what is trust? Part of the time when I ask couples, what are the building blocks of a strong marriage, and they say trust so quickly, part of the reason they say so quickly trust is because they've been burned before. They've been hurt. They've laid themselves out bare naked and have been deeply wounded in those intimate relationships. And they're wondering, can I ever trust again? We have a much more complex dating society than we used to. I use the word dating in sort of a loose way. People as a whole have experimented with intimacy in such wider and deeper ways than in the past. And so now when people are walking into marriage, they're walking in with deep wounds and with multiple kinds of experiences, some of them very bad. And so this idea of laying ourselves bare is frightening to people. Do you see what's happening in our culture, that marriage has been moved back farther and farther, that young people are getting married later and later? You've read the studies, I've read the studies. When people give the reasons why they're waiting longer for marriage, it's because they're frightened. It's because they're frightened. Not only have they seen things in their parents' marriages, but they've been hurt. They got in too deep, too quick. Unfortunately, people tend to get bare naked sexually and physically before they get bare naked in other intimacy building ways. And so there's a bond that's created in that area, which is sort of an artificial bond. And then what often happens is when you get into the other areas of a relationship, there's nothing in common. There aren't any deeply held shared values. And so the marriage is extremely fragile, especially because sexuality tends not to be a good building block. It's a better ornament for the building than a building block for the building. It comes and goes. It tends to be seasonal and never quite perfect. And so for many people, they've been hurt emotionally, they feel very vulnerable, many people feel financially vulnerable. Intimacy requires peeling away layers and pulling down walls of protection. So we have to be able to trust each other's hearts, each other's intentions. I must be able to believe in my partner enough to risk authentic exposure and deep relationship.